Or I think we should say our names and then say.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Episode 2, blah blah.
So, hi, I'm your host Xavier,
Hi, I'm Oscar.
And I'm Jordan.
and this is No Place for Conversation. Welcome to episode 2.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Yeah.
5 minutes ago, we forgot what the name of this podcast was.
Yeah.
We
it
were
almost
like,
happened again.
No time for
now.
conversation.
Yep.
There's no time.
There's no time.
I think we're just stressed.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's hot.
definitely. Let me tell
It
you,
is hot.
the stress levels are high.
But it's fine.
But it's fine.
So, episode 2, we're talking about elementary school.
Yes.
Moving up a little further down the little path that is life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now we're going on to the next stage, which is elementary school. So, guys, tell us about elementary school.
There's some good memories. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I upgraded from Loverboy back in kindergarten and preschool. Oh, you guys remember?
Yeah, Karen.
Getting cheated on?
to full on lady killer.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Oh yes. I remember I went to this school in Sweden, where there was this girl named Sapanta,
Oh.
and she was like 10 or something, and I was 7 years old.
Damn.
Oh, older
And
lady.
Older lady. And one time we were just hanging out at school, and I was like, I'm gonna go to your house, and we're gonna hang out. And no, hold on, no, not like that. I was 7, guys.
Okay, she was 10.
This isn't a. Hold on, I wasn't being
Xavier.
groomed or anything.
Look, it's just the way it sounded.
Wow. No, but
Wow.
we were just hanging out. We were having a good time. We were good friends. I had basketball practice later that day, and I was like, whatever. I'll just dribble my ball, walk her home, and then I'll head home. And then I get near my apartment, like after walking with her, and this woman I've never seen in my entire life like comes up to me and is like, "Hey, your parents are looking for you." And I'm like, what?
Wait.
What? Why? And
I live on my
just
own.
because I freaking left school.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
like, cause like your parents are supposed to pick you up. And
Yeah.
you kind of get signed out or
Yeah.
whatever. Or if you just say you're walking home, you just sign
Mhm.
yourself out, which is what I did. And I was like, whatever. They like,
They'll figure it
they'll
out.
figure it out. It'll be fine. And my parents thought I was missing. Like I'd been taken.
Damn.
Oh.
Like
Wow.
full on Liam Neeson.
Taken. They're
Taken.
going to take you.
But I was just trying to, I was just hanging with a little crush. And that was that. And I thought,
He's reminiscing right now.
Way to give your parents a heart attack over a girl.
I mean, that was the first time.
First time.
Won't be the last.
Oh.
How does this go?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What's it called? That kind of reminds me. Just a little quick mini story. I was almost taken as a child.
Oh.
But so my bus stop was right on the corner, like across the street from my house, and I would always just stand at that little bus stop, wait for the bus, get on the bus, go to school.
Mhm.
And this particular morning, my mom was like, "I'm gonna watch Jordan, see what he's up to, make sure he gets on the bus okay." And I was on the bus stop by myself, and I'm apparently playing with ants, which is something that I did a lot because I had this weird obsession with sugar ants because they were little black ants.
Yeah.
They don't bite you; they just kind of tickle and they climb all over you. And I was like, "This is great." So I was playing with ants, and apparently this like white van pulled up, like stereotypical white van pulled up.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, that's weird. And then the white van rolled down its window, and she was like,
Oh.
that's weird. And then a man stuck his arm out and like tried to get my attention. And when that happened, she ran out the door screaming, "Jordan!" like that.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that happened, I looked up because I had not known anything was going on.
Mhm.
And the van just drove away.
Wow.
And so I didn't know that anything happened. but my mom was going through some trauma. Right
Wow.
now. And then she told me about it when I was like in high school, I think. No, in junior high, because I remember coming out of a Sam's, which is, you guys know what Sam's is, right?
Yeah.
I just haven't seen any out here in LA.
I don't think there are any in LA.
Sam's Club.
Sam's Club.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I've never been to a Costco, but I've been to a Sam's.
Gotcha, yeah.
But we were walking out of Sam's, and outside of this particular Sam's is a big wall of like missing children that say, "Have you seen me?"
Ooh.
And I've walked by this thing hundreds of times going to Sam's. And my mom told me this story. 2 weeks later, we go to Sam's. I see this thing, and it fucked me up. I was like, wow.
That could have been
That could be me.
Wow.
I could be one of these kids that nobody's paying attention to as they walk out with their bulk.
Wow.
And I've had a few little like panic attacks because of like I watched the movie what's it called? Searching, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With,
I forgot the actor's name, but it's like Unfriended, where it's all filmed through a computer screen.
Okay.
But it's a dad searching for his daughter. And I watched that, and there's a point where I kind of had a panic attack.
That sounds.
When I was watching it.
It's the guy from Heroes. Who is he?
I don't know. That just sounds like the thought of watching a movie that looks like that. Like it looks
John
like you're
Cho.
just what? Who?
John Cho.
Okay.
This guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The sound of me thinking about a show that looks like that, it makes gives this like reality kind of essence to it. So I feel like I'd be actually watching footage, like recorded footage of someone's father, and what he had to do to find them. Like that, I feel like I couldn't watch that movie.
It was a really good movie, but it was very intense.
Wow.
I recommend it.
Elementary school. Almost getting kidnapped. Okay.
Yeah, that took a hard left.
Hard left. Like that
was
was
like,
serious for a
LOL.
second.
I went
Funny story. Wow.
Oh jeez.
Wow. Okay. I'm thinking, how do I lighten the mood?
You know? Oh god, I have no idea.
So okay, elementary school for me. This is when I got a little violent.
So you've joined the club now.
Yes. First episode, I was ridiculing you two for being.
Look, it's only when it's necessary.
Yes,
you know?
and this was necessary. I will say, I never started it.
Necessary is subjective.
All I'm gonna say is I never started it.
Troy started it.
Troy did not start that, Jordan. But I knew this kid, and I will not say his name, but we were technically friends because at that time I didn't talk to anybody else. But he was kind of a dick. Like he was one of those kids that you do not want to deal with.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, he was a compulsive liar.
That was
Okay.
me.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
It was
I
me.
mean,
Surprise.
he lied about everything. He said his family was rich. He said his dad invented the brand Vans.
Wow.
Yeah, all this stuff, whatever.
He's a multi-billionaire.
I know, right?
Whoa.
Going to my elementary school. No, but we were friends, and we got into fights all the time, like punching, physical, whatever. I don't know how to tell the story. It's literally just me minding my business. There was a time I was minding my business, eating my snacks, and he was eating his snacks across from me, and he was like, "Oh, let's share our snacks. Let's just put them in a pile and mix them all together." And I said, "No, I want to eat my snacks. I don't want what you have."
Reasonable.
And he tried to do it anyway.
Oh.
And I snatched my snacks away from him. I was like, "Don't touch my food." And then he tried to fight me. He literally swung at me. So guess what? I swung back.
Yes.
And we got into an altercation. And then the teacher came and stopped us or whatever. Second time we were in class and we had this friend, Rachel. So there's like three of us. It was a friend group. But And she was cool, and we were all cool. And I guess he was feeling like he wasn't getting enough attention. So he decided to put his head down, and he was all sad and sulking. And I was just trying to get his attention. I had my little pencil. And so I tapped his hand. And he, I guess, was in a lot of pain by that. I guess I didn't know my own strength when I tapped his finger with my pencil. And when he looked up, he was crying because it hurt so much. And so he got out of his chair, came around the table, and punched me in the face. And so I got up.
Reasonable.
And I punched him in the face. And then our teacher stopped us, and we had to sit outside. Now, this is a scary part. The next class, we went to the next class. They obviously called our parents, but his dad came, and he was outside of the door of the next class. And when I tell you, the teacher stopped talking, and we all looked at the door, and this is like a man that will tower over anybody, even today. He opened the door a little bit, and all he did was snap his finger and point towards the ground at him. And it was just, but when I tell you, the snap was like freaking Thanos. It was the loudest, scariest thing I'd ever witnessed. And I was like, I will never put this child through anything again because his father is the scariest person in the world.
This is Texas, right?
This is Texas.
Oh, man.
Texas.
But the third fight.
What?
Same kid? Same kid.
Wow. Yeah.
So you instantly went back on your.
So this is.
Yeah, I was like, well, here's the thing. I'm like, I don't want to mess with him. I don't want him to have to go through anything. But he always messed with me.
Same way that I had a rival. This was your rival.
This was my rival in the sense as he was asking for it. I did nothing. I lived my life, and he kept asking for it. But this is one moment in my life where I'm like, I don't know how I did it. I don't know how it happened. But we were going inside from the playground, and how they make you line up.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of kids, so there's the entrance, and there's the concrete court, and there's a bridge, and then there's the rest of the playground. And we're at the very end of the line, and there's him and maybe two other kids that I don't know who they are behind us. And so he taps me on the shoulder, and I'm not having a good day. He taps me on the shoulder, and I look back, and I said, "What?" He goes, "I don't know. What are you talking about?" And so I'm like, okay.
Classic.
And he taps me again, and I turn around, and I look back. I'm like, what? He's like, I didn't do anything.
The man's a trickster.
And so I turn around, and he tapped me for a third time. And I looked back at him and said, do it again and see what happens. Empty. Well, but here's the thing. Empty threat from me. Empty threat from me. He did it again, and I grabbed his hand and legitimately karate flipped him onto the rocks.
That's amazing.
I don't know how to do that. But he went full 360 in the air, landed on the rocks. Had to go to the nurse because they were his back was fucked up.
God. Broke a man's back.
But I was after I did it, I had no remorse. I was in this moment, I was like, God gave me the strength to deal with my problems. But no, in the moment after I flipped him, I was like, I told you. Don't that was it. And the line started moving, and I walked inside.
Stay off my turf.
The line started moving. I walked inside. I thought he was gonna tell on me, but he didn't. So I guess we kind of were friends.
Yo, similar story. I got in a fight in second grade, and it wasn't really a fight because basically, this time I'm not the bad guy. I promise.
Okay.
I promise I'm not the bad guy. But there's this kid. His name was Christopher. All right. See, I have no problem dropping names. His name was Christopher. And
he's gonna find you.
He's gonna find. Yeah, probably.
And that's why I'm not dropping names.
The reason I dropped these names because it was so long ago. I feel like these people, if they heard it, they'd be like, I don't remember that. They wouldn't associate them.
We still follow each other on Instagram.
Oh no, this guy.
Yeah. The person I was talking about, he follows me on Instagram.
Because did you eventually, you stayed with him throughout school?
No. After elementary school, we went to 2 different middle schools, and I never saw him again.
Oh.
It wasn't until, honestly, these last couple of years, he, I guess, found me on Instagram and followed me.
No, I'm only name dropping from the people who I'm like, you don't know me prior to junior high, which means you don't know who I You don't remember my name. But this guy's name was Christopher. And I came upon this situation, right? Yeah. He had a rock in his hands, okay? And like, let's say this is a size comparison.
God.
Okay.
He's holding up a switch.
Yes. Basically, he was holding the rock by the bottom instead of in the middle, first of all.
Okay.
It's very important.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a good grip on this rock. And he was threatening to hit my friend with it. Her name was Naomi.
Okay.
Her.
Okay.
So I was like, Christopher, I know for a fact you're not about to hit this girl with this rock. and so I was like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I got in between them, and he came at me with the rock. But when he came at me with the rock, all he did was like stick his arm out and kind of go towards me. Mm-hmm. And so all I had to do was stick my arm out to the middle of the rock. And I took the rock and using his own propulsion towards me, smacked him in the nose with the rock.
Oh.
He then fell to the floor. His nose was bleeding.
Oh.
And then, commotion happened. All the kids were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Teacher came over and she was like, what happened? And I was like, yeah, Chris, what happened? And he said, oh, I fell and I hit my face on this thing. And we were all like, yes.
That's right.
That's what happened.
That's right.
Oh my God. Intimidation tactics.
Wow.
Back in second grade.
I had leveled them up. By the time I was in this. See, intelligence, I didn't put much of my XP into that. But intimidation and fighting, I put it all in there.
My God.
Priorities.
Well,
that's what that is.
Speaking of not really fights, in 5th grade, we were playing Capture the Flag with beanbags.
Like you throw the beanbags at each other?
No, like you would grab beanbags from like these little spots and try to get it back to your base. You could only take one at a time and whatever.
Okay.
And I got sent to jail, right, during one of this, but I kept one of the beanbags in jail, and this one kid... I don't know if I want to name drop him. The fear still lives inside me.
Still lives within me.
But he got up in my face and was like, hey, give me the beanbags. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was just being stupid. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, dude. And he was like, no, give me the beanbags. And then I started speaking Swedish to him. I called him a stupid fish face. I said, "Döden dum fiskansikte."
That's awesome.
And he was like, "What? And he was like, "Speak my language, speak my language." And I was just like, "Speak my language, speak my language." And then he proceeded to beat the shit out of me. he like grabbed my neck and then just started swinging at my face, and I've just tried to run and scream at the same time, and I'm just like, ah, like it was bad. I got sent to the nurses and was just chilling in there for a little bit.
Proceeded to beat the shit.
He gave a first grader a concussion. Like he was known. Like I don't know why I decided to be like a stupid freaking.
You stood up to the bully.
Yeah, but I don't know why. I was just being annoying. I wasn't like confronting anyone. Yeah. I was just being like, I'm tired of this. And I'm gonna be a little asshole for a second, and then
you paid the price.
I did. I paid the ultimate price. That's the only fight, like real fight, I've ever been in, and it was completely one-sided. I did not swing back. I was just running.
Stupid! I'm gonna let you get the chain.
Literally.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was,
wow.
I mean, hard. I guess happy ending. You got to go to the nurse's office. If I remember anything from elementary school, it was that going to the nurse's office was the most comfortable day of the thing of the day.
No, I went to the nurse's office and then
bled out.
I had to go back to my classroom where like everyone knew what happened. This is 5th grade. Everyone knew what happened. I distinctly remember walking in and seeing my 5th grade crush go like.
No. Oh.
And, like, look really sorry. And, like, it's just, like, look, and then, like, just look down. I was like, oh, fuck.
My life is over.
Yeah. No, I remember going to the nurse's office to, get the ice pack, and you could just sleep for, like, a whole period.
I don't remember ever going to the nurse in elementary school.
I went just because, like,
I probably just don't remember
days when I felt sick. Or, like, as a kid, you're, like, hungry or something, and you're like, I'm going to die.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Like, I just don't remember. But, like, because I remember, because I went to 2 different elementary schools, right? I had my first elementary school, which was 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade in kindergarten. And then I had 4th and 5th grade at a different one, which was a completely different experience. And sometimes I feel like they happened so far apart from each other because they really were like 2 different lives that I led. And which kind of goes into like my whole I was a huge liar as a kid kind of thing, especially at the newer school, because I was like, nobody knows who I am. No, I think I was a bigger liar at my first school, because 1st grade is when I was like, hey, yeah, everybody, I have an older brother. No reason to tell this lie. I would just do it. That's why I'm like,
To clarify, he does not have an older brother.
I do not. I'm the oldest child. I did eventually get younger siblings, but at the time I had no siblings of any kind. Okay. And I always I think back on these things, and it always weirds me out because I really had like no reason to lie, which is why, like, in high school and times like now, I was like, am I a compulsive liar? Is this I don't know
how to therapy.
Guys, this is supposed to be therapy. We said this was therapy.
This is not an intervention for you. I don't know why you thought.
But there are so many times where I would just lie about shit for no reason. And yeah, I told people I had an older brother. And at my new school, right? I told the kids that my old school burned down. It's not true. I just moved.
Jordan.
How far away was this new school?
I was like 45 minutes away.
So they could have just easily.
They could have known so quick.
I was in the same school district.
Their parents and been like, "Hey, did this place burn down?"
Right? They're like, "We got a new student because this school burned down." They're like, "What?
What? Where?" No, but I was like, yeah. Like my old school burned down because some kids set it on fire, and that's why I'm here now.
You wanted to be like a badass who had protection.
I don't know. It's so weird. So there are times where I'm like, what part of my life is real?
Israel.
Like from the Bible? Israel. Where did we just go?
To Israel.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh goodness. But yeah, I know I don't lie as much as I did as a child.
Wait. How long did this go on? Like, do people still think?
Oh, bro. Okay. You know what my biggest lie was in 4th grade?
What?
Which is weird because people believed the lies that I told, but I told contradicting lies. Because I told somebody that I went to a school that burned down in Houston, right? But then I also told people that I was from Memphis, Tennessee.
Why?
I told people that I was from Memphis, Tennessee because there was a girl in my class who was also from Tennessee, and I had a crush on her, and I was like, you know what would make her like me? If I'm from the same place she is.
Okay.
But, you can be from Memphis, Tennessee, and go to a school that burnt down in Houston.
Yeah, but when I told the lie, I was like, I grew up in Memphis. I just came from Memphis. You know?
Okay.
And I lied about this for the long. I don't know. Maybe people probably didn't believe me. It was like, Jordan's fucking weird. But I lied about it so much. I committed to this shit. I remember it would get cold, and I'd be like, I would open my window on the bus, and everybody else would have their windows up because they're cold. And I'd be like, guys, it snows in Memphis. You guys don't know anything about the cold. I've never been to Tennessee. I've never been to Tennessee.
You had never seen snow.
I had never seen snow. And I was like, y'all don't know what cold is.
Oh my goodness.
And you want to know, your question was how long did this go on?
Yeah.
This was 4th grade is when I came up with that lie.
Mm-hmm.
8th grade, I was sitting in class, like it was we weren't doing anything kind of thing, and there was somebody had pulled down the map, and for some reason I had the urge to go up to this map, and then point to Memphis and be like, "Huh," and then the girl who I told that lie to walked up next to me and she goes, "Oh yeah, I totally forgot you're from Memphis," and I went, "Huh."
The realization.
Oh my God.
Oh God. And then I said, wow, wait, whoa, wait.
4 years.
And I said,
Your brain had rewired at that point.
you stopped being a liar at some point.
yeah.
And then you remembered that nobody actually knows who you are.
Nobody knows who I am. And that's the way I like it.
Oh.
Here's the thing: is that I think kids are predisposed to believe
Anything.
like anything,
Yeah.
like what other people say.
That's true.
Because I had buddies like back in at this elementary school in Sweden that told me that they had a teleporter that led to like a RuneScape type area, and I was like, oh hell yeah,
Let's go.
And then they were like, yeah, so come over sometime, and I was like, okay, I will. And then they were always like, oh no, you can't come over. The teleporter's down, whatever. And I'm like, oh crap, whatever, yeah. But
you believed them.
But I believed it, yeah, because I was a stupid kid. I was like 6, had an overactive imagination.
That's
I mean,
interesting.
but as a kid, whoever you're growing up with, it's like you're in this portion of life where you're just learning things. Mm-hmm. You're learning how to walk. You're learning how to talk. You're learning what the world is. And so if someone tells you they got a teleporter, you're like, that's possible. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Like, this is a new thing.
Because also in the 4th grade, one of the lies that I told was telling this one specific guy, and we were friends,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason, I think it was because he listened to me that I would just kind of talk and say all this bullshit. But I don't think he actually believed me, but sometimes it sounded like he did. But I told, you ever watched the show Phil of the Future?
Yes, loved it.
I told him my life was the plot of Phil of the Future. And
See, that's something I would have believed. Probably.
believed
I
it.
probably would have believed it.
I was
too.
like, yeah, I'm from the future, but our time machine, while we were going back in time, broke down, and now we're stuck here, and I'm just kind of going to this school until we fix it. And he was like, bro. And so then I would just tell him story. I told him, I remember one thing specifically. I told him, yeah, in the future, all food has 0 calories, so everybody's fit.
Whoa.
And he was like,
give me that future.
bro.
Give me that
And
future.
he would listen to, he never questioned anything I said. He would like
Yeah.
listen to me and was like engaged.
Support.
And so I was like, I like telling you these stories. It looks like you like listening to them. So that's why I would always just kind of like say shit.
Yeah.
But then there's always a part of me that was like, does he believe me?
Yeah.
Because now at this school, because this was middle school, I believe. Yeah. But now, like in this little area, in this new group of friends that I have, I am both from the future and Houston and Tennessee.
Wow.
Okay.
You really did that. I mean,
Fooled
but
them
like,
all.
I remember.
I'm actually from New York.
Oh my God. No, I remember the amount of. Also, like the amount that we would accept lies is also the amount of. Did you ever make something up in your head about like the world or how life was, and you just believed it and it was completely wrong? Because me growing up, sitting in the back of my mom's car whenever we went anywhere, we had a map in the back of the seat that I would always just look at, and now I know it's a map of literally just like the area I was in, Dallas, Texas. But before, I thought it was a map of Texas in its entirety.
Wow.
And I was like, Texas is where I live. That's what I was told, you know? So I'm like, this map is Texas. And I thought when I saw a map of America that was the rest of the world.
Wow.
And so I was like, Texas is America and America is everything else.
I think that sums up America's, public education
Well, time
system.
out. I was like
That's some
5.
patriotism.
I was like 6 years old.
There is only America.
Give me a chance.
America's the world.
But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That is pretty much how we're taught.
Wow.
But no, and especially the way Texans are.
We were talking about it this morning.
What?
We were talking about the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, and then also
the Texas
the pledge
flag.
to Texas.
We pledge allegiance to the American flag, but then afterwards,
And now the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to the Texas,
one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Just secede already. God, you want to do it so bad.
Oh,
Wow.
goodness.
We were really like, because I remember it's just like, yeah, America's the best, but also Texas is the best.
Exactly. So mayhaps that's why I thought Texas was America.
Yo,
That's scary. Not gonna lie.
There was a moment where in the 4th grade when I was telling this I'm from Memphis, Tennessee lie, some kid came up to me because we're all in Texas now.
Yeah.
Some kid came up to me and was like, "Oh, so what's the Tennessee pledge?" And I shit my pants. I said, I don't know. Like in my mind, I was like, "Fuck, I'm fucked." But then the girl from Tennessee, she was like, "Oh, there is no Tennessee pledge," and I went, "Yeah, stupid."
I'm weak.
It's just Texas.
But that's like the thing for if you're growing up in Texas, you don't know
You
that.
don't know. Only Texas does it.
Like you literally think every state has its own pledge. Like they it's never specified that we're the only people in America that do this. But no, I remember coming to I didn't learn that other places didn't have a pledge to their state until I came to California.
Oh.
Because I went to other places for vacations and stuff, but I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't meet new people or whatever. But when I came to California for college, and I met people, and they made fun of Texas for having a pledge. I was like, "Well, what's yours?"
Bitch, what's yours?
And they were like, "We don't have one." I was like, "Come again?"
Damn. No. I learned in the 4th grade in that moment.
No.
And I was just like, my life is over.
I held that with me till adulthood.
When did you guys stop saying the Pledge of Allegiance?
You mean in school?
Yeah,
Never.
Never.
No, I mean, but you know how you schools made you do it, but when were you radicalized?
Oh.
Never.
When?
You want to
Jordan, what?
You want to know? Remember,
You kept on
junior
saying it
year.
throughout high school.
Yeah, because you got to remember. In high school, there was a part of me that was like, I'm worthless. There's nothing I can do.
That's
I'm going
right.
to join the
Army.
military.
Yeah.
Yeah. So junior year, when I was in my peak little sad boyness, I remember there was a point where I got mad at somebody
For not.
because
Oh,
they
you
didn't
were one of those
stand
people.
during the pledge.
Oh, no.
And I was like, show some fucking respect,
Oh,
bitch.
my God.
I was one of those people for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, I stopped my sophomore year of high school. And that was also when I moved to a new school. And maybe it was just the atmosphere because a lot of people didn't do it at my new school. But at the same time, I was like, I don't really care. I don't want to stand up. I don't want to say this. And also, with the kind of television we have and pretty much every cartoon is rioting and standing up against society. I'm like, in my sophomore year of high school, I'm like, why is it that every day we have to come in and say this to who? Who are we? What is this for?
To America.
And it's like
To Uncle Sam.
to uncles. But no, I don't know my whole reasoning for it as a teenager, but also teenager. Stop, you rebel or whatever. But sophomore year is when I stopped doing it.
I remember I stopped saying it in middle school. I would still stand and put my hand over my hair or whatever, and I'd just stand there. And I was like, okay, this is it's just routine.
I think that's
that
what
you
I
have to
might
do.
have done in senior year. But I think, because I think at that point everybody was like, all right, we stand, we put our hand over our heart.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna all say it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we still have that respect.
It's like enough people say it to where you can get away with not saying
Right.
it.
But then in high school, I would sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was literally just like head on my desk.
And I'd be in the corner like, "Fuck you, Carl. Stand up
Yo.
now."
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that was oof.
You know, along the lines of things that we believed were real, that are lies or myths or whatever, I had a group of friends. I was in this after school program for kids whose parents couldn't pick them up right after school. So it was basically just goofing off and doing whatever we wanted. But we were in this gym, and someone was like, "Let's summon Bloody Mary."
Ooh.
And we all know the story and how to do it, you know, with the splashing the mirror with water. And,
Wait, but I didn't know because you told me a little bit about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just you go you turn off the lights, you say Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
No,
Bloody Mary.
no. There's like a whole ritual, and we did it. When I tell you we did it, so everybody in this after school program, all the kids that were there, all got a word of it. So everybody piled up on the outside of the men's bathroom, and there was like 4 or 5 of us that actually went in to do it. And I was in the bathroom, but I wasn't like participating.
Yeah.
You know, I was like near the door while all the other guys were actually at the sink. And so they splashed the mirror. Every mirror, you have to have all the sinks, all the water needs to be running. And they splashed all the mirrors with water. And there's a thing where you're supposed to put an apple on the drain on the floor. And so they did that.
Somebody just had an apple?
I mean, it's school. You know, there are apples in the cafeteria. I think they were planning this all day. But
ready to summon a demon.
But so after like they had everything in place, you're supposed to say Bloody Mary 3 times while spinning around.
Yeah.
And so they did that, and I'm just kind of watching, innocent bystander. Again, I'm always innocent. But after they finished it, it was silent for maybe 5 seconds. And then, as kids do, they just started screaming and pushing, and all the kids on the outside of the door started pushing. But nothing. At first, I was like, nothing's actually happening. And so, by this point, all the guys are at the furthest stall away from the exit, and I look in the mirrors because that's what you're supposed to do. They didn't want to look in the mirrors, but I looked in the mirrors, and where they were in the bathroom, I had a view of in the mirror, and the next mirror over, I see this bitch. I see her just standing there, not doing a damn thing.
This bitch, Bloody Mary.
Because she scarred me. That's why she's a bitch. I was in elementary school, and she's just standing there. Like, I don't like it. I would wish I could chop it up to my imagination and wanting to see something, but for God's sake, I did not want to see something. I was just watching my friends freak out, and then I look over to the next mirror, and she's just chilling. Like the way you would imagine it, like basically The Grudge, but like with a veil over her head or something. And that's when I turned and ran for the exit.
Y'all summoned me.
Right. She's like
I'm
waiting.
just chilling.
But that's when I turned and ran for the exit, and of course all the kids on the outside were pushing around and wouldn't let anybody get out, and I was having a panic, a full on, I was gonna cry because nobody else, like afterwards they're like, oh, it didn't work, blah blah blah. I'm like, we're all gonna die. But
the Candyman trailer.
Oh, oh my
that's
god,
exactly what it sounds like.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god. No, that's
No, I really
She's
don't
real.
think I ever participated in a Bloody Mary ritual, because there are lots of times where people are like, oh yeah, let's summon Bloody Mary. I'm like, you hear what you're saying,
right? Like, and like at the time, no, for real though. At the time though, I was one of those people that were like, why would you do this? But also I was like, it's not real.
Yeah.
Like I think at that point, for whatever reason, I just decided things weren't real, and
because I was like, it's not real.
Yeah.
But by the chance,
like, why would you
that
even
it
try?
is,
Right.
Why? It's like the Ring, right?
Uh-huh.
Where they're like, oh, if you watch this videotape, you'll die in 7 days.
Right. And then
let's watch it.
Let's watch it. Right.
What kind of
no?
no? Just don't watch it.
Don't do
it's
it.
that easy.
But today I am here to tell you Bloody Mary is real.
Bloody Mary lurks.
And do not try it, please. For the love of God, do not try it. I'm still scarred. I can clearly see the image of that day in my head.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
We're just kind of like taking it in.
Take it in.
Yeah.
Because because I've been to multiple sleepovers or whatever, and they're like, "Yep, let's do Bloody Mary," and I'm like, you know what? You do that. I'm gonna just go finish off all the brownies that we cooked earlier.
Yeah, no, like all the sleepovers I went to, it was just like we're gonna play video games and drink an inexorbitant amount of Mountain Dew. Yeah,
Hell
exactly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No.
That's no.
Is it
It is, yes.
corner time?
It is corner time.
I believe it's Oscar's
Oscar's.
corner
Oh,
time.
it's corner time.
It sounds like coroner time.
Well, then
Coroner?
let's...
Coroner.
Coroner.
Coroner
What
time.
do coroners do?
The coroner.
They're the
So you say the coroner like I should know, but you can't tell me what they do.
No. They you get the coroner's report for they just see like how the person died, They examine the body and right?
You're on the right path. Yeah.
And
Why don't you help them?
Okay, so when people die in like crime scenes, right?
Yeah.
They do all this shit, and then they take the body, put it in a body bag, they take it to the morgue, and then they do an autopsy.
Yes.
That's the coroner.
The
and then
coroner does
coroner
the
report.
autopsy. Okay.
And that's like, this is how the person died.
Okay.
This is the time of death. This is how
Yeah.
what we found.
So the coroner is the person that does the autopsy.
yeah.
And you said it like you weren't
Anyways,
sure.
it's my corner, guys.
sure.
We're not talking about coroners.
All right, Oscar.
We're gonna talk about Legend of Korra because I'm watching it right now. We're on season 4, and Jordan has some, toxic opinions
Jordan
about it.
has
I think.
some major toxic opinions.
Are they toxic or just my opinions?
It's just your opinion, but it's toxic to us.
Yeah,
Because
we
Jordan,
disagree with you.
yes,
Fair enough.
Oscar
I did agree.
Oscar and I like The Legend of Korra. It is a good show.
It is a very good show. Not okay. Again, the second season, but I've heard it was rushed because they had like 3 weeks to put it together, basically, because they didn't think there was gonna be.
Yeah,
there
no,
wasn't
it was
to be
supposed.
another.
It was supposed to stop.
Yeah.
should've.
So they had to. Wow. They had to put it together.
I'm sorry.
So animation suffered, but we got a cool little animation thing with Avatar 1.
Yes,
It
that
looked like moving tapestry,
right.
which was
It was
awesome.
really awesome.
That was cool.
And you got the story of the first ever Avatar.
Yeah. Which, who doesn't want that?
Right. It's the literal origin story.
Yeah. But that season.
Yeah,
sucked. Compared to all the others.
Compared
it
to season 1, 3, and 4, season 2 sucked.
yeah. But it's still a great show, and I
Yes.
think Korra is a great Avatar.
Yes. Jordan, would you like to tell
Jordan.
us why you think we're wrong?
Jordan.
Listen, first of all, I agreed to rewatch this show.
Okay.
Now that I am of an older age, because this is your first time watching it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's been my
So I watched
second
it-
time.
When I was like 12, because it came out in 2012.
20 yeah,
Something.
yeah,
around
2012.
there, yeah.
So I was 14, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I was 14 when it came out.
I was 13.
Still like a child,
I think.
really loving Avatar,
Mhm.
The Last Airbender,
Yes.
and just expecting more of the same. So maybe, listen,
I didn't say anything.
maybe I was unhappy with what
Yeah.
they had because I was
Yeah.
like, this isn't what I wanted.
And see, that's where I will agree with you because I did the same thing. When but in also my defense, the first thing of Legend of Korra I saw was season 2 because I thought that was season 1. While it was coming out, I didn't know it was happening, but someone was like Legend of Korra, and I was like, oh my god, it's Avatar season, and it's a new one. And so I started it, and it wasn't what I expected. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Aang, that whole crew, it's special. It's something special, and Legend of Korra was different.
Yeah.
It is now, today I will say it's definitely something special and it's something I love a lot, but at the time it was different and it was not what I was expecting. And like we said, season 2 did suffer animation wise, and so I didn't like it, but I gave it another try while I was still a child.
See, also for me, like I think I have the opinions I do because I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time in college.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I was not aware of this.
Okay. Yeah, no, I saw it for the
Okay.
Yeah. I saw it for the first time, first semester of college.
What?
You know, I am also surprised, but I wish I could have seen it for the first time while I was in college.
And it was fantastic. It was a great experience. It was like one of the best things I've ever seen. But then I can also appreciate Korra because I'm like, oh, this is like, it's just, it's almost the same thing.
Yeah.
The themes are a little bit more mature, I'd say.
Oh, definitely. People die.
On-screen deaths.
People are murdered in
on-screen deaths.
Okay, yeah, on screen, yeah. But
Yes.
Jet died. We all know Jet died.
We all know. Okay, but that's the thing. That's the thing. Season, what was that? Three.
That was
With
two.
Jet?
That was
For in Jet
Yeah.
when he died.
Oh, when he died. Yeah,
Because that was further, wasn't it?
All this shit was going down in Ba Sing Se.
yeah.
So it was like
Okay.
the end of the Earth.
End of season 2, Jet, quote unquote, died. You watch Legend of Korra. Bing, bang, boom, murdered.
Yeah.
Done. You're donezo every season.
my favorite part too is it says TV PG for self-harm on Netflix. That's the only and then meanwhile people are getting their shit absolutely rocked.
When I tell you, it's like it's incredible fighting scene, and like that's like the original Avatar. They based the bending and fighting styles off of real life martial arts styles, and the Legend of Korra, which it is synced up with like reality in our society. It is a different time period where now they have cars and radios and TVs, and it's like their fighting style is more
it's more dirty.
It's like they boxing basically. Yeah, like that's how they fight, and like there are still elements of the martial arts that they used in the original Avatar, but like seeing the fight sequences in Legend of Korra, they're so like I don't even know. Anime, you know, like Avatar: The Last Airbender is technically an anime, but it's not like you don't get those fights.
I don't remember her name, but what was the name of the woman who had no arms? And she used water bending. Like that was cool.
Yeah, I don't remember her name either.
Here's my thing with Korra, okay? Because I watched Avatar as they were doing reruns because season 3 was coming out. Right, back in 2008. Yeah, because I had like moved, we got cable, and I was like, "This new world is amazing." And so I watched Avatar, and I was able to watch like all of season 1, 2, and 3 like that. And then so when Korra was like coming out and they were announcing it, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm ready for this." So I watched the first episode as it came out, and I think I was kind of down for it because I remember being like, I was like sad that Aang is gone. Right. And she had that moment where she was like, I'm the Avatar and you got to deal with it. And I was like,
when she was like a little toddler.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
they literally told you deal with it.
I was like, all right. But then as I kept watching, I just realized that for some reason I didn't care about like these new characters like Mako or like
Bolin, dude.
Bolin is the best character.
I was just kind of like I don't know. I was like, maybe it's because they're older. They're not like kids. That there's some kind of like
I mean, but
that's gone. With
I'll say I was the same way. Like I wasn't. I mean, it's the beginning of the show. Why would you feel connected to these random people? Where's Guitar? Where's Sokka? And it's like people like in the first season they did a better job of in first season in Avatar: The Last Airbender they did a good job of setting up exactly who people were when you first saw them. Yeah. But Legend of Korra kind of just threw you into. And I think it's a good thing because it's a new world, so why not throw you into new people that you don't know, or you don't know their stories, you don't know who they are, and it's like just full force, give them everything at once. Yeah. But by the end of the first season, like it's not even by the end, but like within the first season, you're like invested, and by the end of it, that the stories that they tell, the arcs, even the freaking bad guy, the way that ended.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember
Tearjerker.
But I don't know. Like, I remember watching it because I had to, like, because I finished the first season and I got through most of the second season. That's when I was like, okay, now I don't think I like this. Because by the end of the first season, I was like, I don't think I'm liking this. I'm going to keep watching it because I started. Wasn't the first villain like Amon? Was that his name?
Amon.
And he was like, oh, yeah, we got to get rid of everybody's bending.
Yeah, to make society
whatever.
equal.
Yeah. And I was like, man, fuck that guy. You know, but then I guess I was like, I don't know. I don't care for some reason. I was like, I don't care. I just lost. I don't know what it was, but childhood me,
Because like I
just didn't care about these people.
That's interesting because I feel like the stakes are a lot higher. In Korra than like
true.
It literally Korra deals with like life changing crap every episode, every season, but like truly she saves the world.
The world changes every season.
Yeah, she does something to change / save the world every single season. Not knocking on Aang, but his whole 4 seasons was leading up to defeating one guy who he did change the world and save everybody from, you know, the Fire Nation. But it's like Korra did that and more. Korra saved Benders. She saved the spirit world. She saved
the Air Nation.
The whole Air Nation.
Maybe that was some part of it that I didn't like. Because I know, because growing up, a lot of the things I was taking in entertainment-wise, there was one big bad. Harry Potter was a big part of my life.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Throughout Harry Potter, Harry had to fight different things, but they were all leading up to his final battle with Voldemort.
Right.
So that's what made it when he finally fought Voldemort. Even though it was kind of like, what? But that's a whole other story.
Right.
So then with Avatar, it was like, oh yeah, everything is leading up to this final battle with Ozai, with fucking Mark Hamill.
Right.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. Yeah.
And so when you get there and you see just that power arc that all of the characters have had at this point, it's amazing.
I think.
But then with each villain, each season having a different villain for Korra, I think that's what might have been like, oh well then.
Yeah. I think they focused.
I get that.
I think because by the time you get through the show, like you'll see that with each villain, the arcs that you got with the Avatar: Last Airbender with Aang and them all throughout all the seasons, you still have that same arc. It's just it's dark and it's more harsh because they've gone through all this crap, like freaking. I mean, I don't want to like say parts of the show just in case, but like
it came out years ago.
I mean, it did, but
it just came on Netflix.
Yeah, it just came out on Netflix, and most people don't even know what it is. But but it's like each character, their lives are kind of like really shitty, and like they are together, they find each other, but even their lives with each other are pretty shitty. But also she's the Avatar, so she has to do shit for everybody.
Yeah, and also I feel like it's way easier to relate with all of the villains that she goes up against because like Fire Lord Ozai, you're just like you're a bad guy.
You're a bad guy. Take him
Azula,
down.
you're a bad guy. I don't like you. Like sometimes like
it wasn't until the very end where I was like, oh, Azula needs help.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Well, she's awesome, but like
she was always awesome, but it was like I don't want you to win.
Yeah,
I don't want anything good for you.
But like every villain in Korra feels like Thanos to me, where I'm just like, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
I'm taking it a little too far.
You're taking it. Yeah, you're taking it a bit far, but I mean, I could.
Except for season 2.
Yeah,
that's a whole different...
Season 2, he was going the right direction, and until he discovered his real plan, which was dumb. But
don't they all represent like a different kind of government? Because I remember there was like communism for season 1.
Yeah,
and then another was anarchy.
4, yeah, that's season 3. Season 4 is totalitarian, or like dictatorship. I guess.
Yeah.
Season 2 is
season 2
just
is when I just stopped basically.
Season 2 is not.
It's
It's not
It's
one of
just
those.
season
It's
two.
just
I mean,
season 2.
if season 2 was anything, it's like
Can't really
I can't
say
relate
with
it
that.
to anything, but though as well.
That's kind of sucks though, because I remember, I was like, I will wait for season 2
Mm-hmm.
to see if I want to keep watching this show, and then I didn't know anything about the whole they didn't know they're gonna get another season.
Yeah.
All I saw was what was put in front of me, and I
Yeah.
said, "This is bad."
Yeah.
No,
I'm
and
not
that's-
watching this
and
anymore.
that's
And
fair.
that
'Cause
is
you're-
fair.
And then everything else that comes about with Korra is just stuff that I eventually, whenever I would look up Avatar stuff because I loved it,
Mm-hmm.
I would find Korra stuff, and so I would have it out of context, but I would hate it. I found whether it was anything that had to do with the old gang and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
I hated a lot of that. I didn't like how you know almost nothing about all the old, almost nothing. Like Sokka, there's nothing about him.
Yeah.
I hate that they made Toph a cop.
yeah.
That is
Well, they kind
the
of
worst thing.
they went over it slightly, and the only reason she became a cop was because Aang made this city. It's the first it's supposed to be in places for everybody, and if you look at Toph and the original Avatar dynamic, it's like she tagged along for the ride and kept she's stuck up and she has her ways, but she kept everybody safe. She was basically, if you want to say of the original Avatar, Team Avatar, she was the police of the group.
No, I completely disagree. I think Toph and Avatar was fully she scammed people.
Yeah, she ran away from home. She scammed people because she was a child. But when it came to their lives, she protected all of them without hesitating.
But that doesn't mean that she's gonna now start being all right, let's enforce the law.
But you also have to realize this is when Toph was what, 12, 13. She didn't become a police officer for this city until they're well over, maybe even in their 30s.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time that passed that they did not explain, which in my opinion allows them to say, also Toph is the first ever metal bender. The police squad is metal benders. She had to be the one to teach them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying in that aspect is she shouldn't have been a cop.
And also,
maybe make Sokka.
Also, but here's the thing: it doesn't tell you quite how long. You can get a reference of how long she was a cop, but she did quit.
But she was also chief of police kind of thing.
She had to teach everybody. She was
always chief of police, basically, from the start.
From the beginning. She was the only one that could do it, what they were doing.
But yeah,
I think Toph was chief of police from the beginning because someone had to do it, and she was the only one that.
I trust you.
Yeah, and she was the only one that could. She was the strongest out of all of them. Who else is going to protect an entire city?
But yeah, I just didn't like anything they did with the fact that Aang was basically a neglectful father. I was like, why do you I get
but
making
it makes sense.
It made so much sense. He had 3 kids.
I mean,
and only one of them was an airbender.
Only one makes sense, but doesn't mean you have to do that.
Okay, Jordan, how are you gonna portray Aang as a father if not wanting to rebuild the entire nation and it felt like for him one day he had a whole family, he had all these people he loved, and then the next day he woke up in ice and they were all gone. So when he has children and only one of them are an airbender and that's what he's trying to rebuild, that's his next purpose in life is to rebuild his whole nation, do you not expect him to give that child he has to make him a master at airbending because he knows he's not giving more children. He knows his kid's gonna have to do it. He has to make him a master. He has to prepare him to take on all the stuff and the meanings behind what he has to teach him about his entire heritage. You can't do that if
I still don't like how they did it. I was like,
you don't like the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like if let's take Star Wars. It's basically the same thing they did with Star Wars, where after the original Star Wars, they're like, yes, everything's hope, and then in the sequels, they're like, Luke Skywalker felt some darkness in Ben Solo. He tried to kill him, and now he's like outcasted, and he did all.
Don't compare a bad storyline to a good storyline.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying.
The
Though, I
sequels are Star
compare
Wars.
them. I see them similarly, at least with what they did with the original characters.
I just
guess.
feel like it was a matter of like Nickelodeon was like, our base has grown up a little bit.
Yes.
Let's show them that
Yes.
the world is like, you have to grow up with the world.
Also, you got to look at, because your comparison to Star Wars is like they changed original characters and their motives, but in Legend of Korra, coming from Avatar: The Last Airbender, same world, different creators. These aren't the same people making it. These aren't the same writers. It's different people.
What are you talking about? Different people for
The people. Yeah, no. Legend of Korra was the people that wrote that, the people that created that, are completely different people than.
I thought it was the same people.
Than Avatar: The Last Airbender. No,
wait
it's completely different people. So first of all, I don't think they wanted to try and change the original characters and what the original people had created for them.
Okay, well that.
So I think that's why you get such little information about what happened. It's just like, okay, this is where they went as adults, and this is where we are now. I mean, they have Katara and Toph still alive in Legend of Korra, but when you see them, they are Katara and Toph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like, there's no reminiscing. There's no, let's be a part of the narrative. It's Katara and Toph.
yeah, they just have their characteristics,
Yeah.
and they help in the ways they would.
Exactly, as old people.
Yeah.
But I think the main.
I thought it was also the same people.
No, because I thought it was the same people too, but it's not.
Because I remember that being one of your points.
Yeah,
this
because
is their vision.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was an old point that I had, because I thought it was the same people, and me connecting the dots, I was like, if that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do. But now, in the aspect of these knowing that they're not the same creators, it's like you want to respect something that you loved, but also you can't tell the same story. It's and now thinking about it that way, I'm like, it makes even more sense to me that it's a completely different world, it's a completely different story, because it's a completely different avatar.
Now,
it's a different life.
Little thing here is a biased article saying that Legend of Korra is bad, but they wrote the number one reason for the writing drop off was the absence of Aaron Akase and as co-producer and head writer, along with the other writers from Atla. So I guess they didn't.
Yeah, it's a completely different.
I totally thought it was
creators.
I guess that,
and that's something
kind of changes things.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that's something you can definitely feel, like it is different in more ways than just it's a different era, it's a different fighting style. It's like it's completely different people telling a story.
Knowing that, because I always thought for some reason that it was the same people who made Avatar, that they were like, all right, this is where the story's
Let's continue,
going.
right?
Because I was like, why would you do this? Like, especially watching him almost back to back as a child. Yeah. And just being like, I feel like this just isn't as good. Like, for some reason, there's something about it that's just not as good. Yeah. But now that I know it's other
completely different people,
it's basically
it's a new show.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's basically
I have to kind of agree with that point.
And on that aspect, yes, it's basically Star Wars, but in the aspect of them making it bad, no.
Okay, fair.
But,
because the way I look at Legend of Korra, aside from, the rushing of season 2, is you had Aang. And if you look at the times when Aang looked back on his past lives, they're completely different people than he is. None of them would have done what he did, or like had the problems that he had.
Avatar Kyoshi was the homie.
Exactly. But
that's what I want to see.
But I see Korra, and I'm like, okay, this is nothing like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I think with Star Wars, they tried to continue the story rather than completely
make something new, revamp, give it new life,
give it their own creativity rather than
I understood
the Skywalker saga.
Oh my God. When something's over, when something's over, it should just be over.
Yeah.
That's. I know we're kind of tangenting.
We've been
We're
tangenting.
big tangent.
This
This
is-
is going
this
to be
is-
its own episode.
Yeah, this is such a tangent that it honestly might just be
A bonus
episode 2 part B.
Yeah.
Part B, .5.
Oscar's corner.
But no, fucking. I just think it's so funny how all 9 Star Wars films are because of this one kid who had some issues.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's the whole
Yeah.
galaxy
The entire
is
universe
affected by this one kid who's like, I hate sand.
So coarse.
It gets,
Gets
everywhere.
That's so. Yeah, that's
Like-
very accurate.
Like it's literally just the Skywalker, because that's what especially the last film, which was
The
Rise of
Rise of
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
where she at the end is like,
Yeah,
Rey Skywalker, and I was just like,
right.
why are you making it about him now?
Right.
Because you could have ended the
Right.
Skywalker.
It
You know,
and that's what I mean. When something's over, it needs to be over.
Yeah.
to be over.
They had a chance to let it go.
It's time for the Jedi to die. JK, they're back.
Truly,
And they're all
that's
named
sacred
Skywalker.
text.
That's exactly what they did.
They're
my
gonna
God.
rename themselves the Skywalkers.
Right. It's no longer the Jedi.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
the Skywalkers.
The Skywalkers, because they fly and
And
shit.
use the Force.
They
and,
double jump.
Right. They double jump.
Ah, yes, the Skywalker Temple. And they'll be like, they'll tell the stories of the first Skywalker.
This is my Sky Saver.
Yeah.
Oh
my laser
God.
sword.
Right.
That I can't believe they said that.
Oh
Yeah.
my! I mean, part of me is like, oh, I get it. You're trying to be like, LOL, George Lucas. But no.
No, you can't just crap
But
on something
no.
like that.
I mean, technically, it was originally being crap. No, it wasn't being crapped on. It was
no.
being made better.
Yeah.
Because George Lucas was like, yes, this is a laser sword.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh God, I forgot his name. Obi-Wan, the original.
Sir.
Sir, I know it's Sir.
Sir.
Jesus.
I'm so sorry, Sir Obi-Wan. But he would just be like, lightsaber. And George Lucas would be like, stop, laser sword. Lightsaber. And so then everybody was like, whoa, lightsaber.
Yeah, right.
What a legend.
For real.
Honestly.
What is his
For
name?
real.
Please, why not just show me the freaking results in the
Did you search
first-
Obi-Wan actor?
Alec Guinness.
Alec,
Sir
I know.
Alec Guinness.
I'm a bad person.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I only forgive myself because we all forgot.
Yeah.
But Sir Alec Guinness. What?
He served in World War II
Oh.
in Operation Husky.
Wow.
Him and oh no, that's another Count Dooku.
Yeah.
They're both British spies.
Wow.
Is what I'm.
And then
getting
they
from
said-
this.
Lightsaber.
Bigger the pride.
That's just such a.
full.
It's lightsaber is just. It is the right term.
Yeah. I'm George Lucas. Bro.
I'm
homie.
so sorry, George, but
Star Wars, original Star Wars, love it.
love it totally.
Lightsaber.
Lightsaber. You can't argue with that.
Lightsaber.
Lightsaber?
Lightsaber.
The word has lost all meaning now.
And that's how we
Lightsaber.
end the pod.
Yes. The
Right.
With
3, 2, 1.
lightsaber.
Wow.
You
Sorry,
couldn't get it
I-
on time. Oh, okay. Jordan is done.
Jordan's
He put his
done.
mic down.
He has decided it's over.
So remember, you can
Clap
watch.
sync.
Oh my God, no! Remember, you can watch the YouTube video tomorrow, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you later. Bye.